Welcome, everybody. Welcome, students. Welcome, parents, caregivers, family members, coworkers, board members, community members, Principal Dean Preston from Callis, who's hidden behind me. Everybody, welcome. I would like to start today's celebration by thanking and acknowledging all the teachers who have made Cobscook Experiential programs what it is. And I don't just mean my two amazing co-teachers, Maria and Damon, who I am honored to teach with, who are passionate and bring their full selves to their role as teachers. I don't just mean them. I mean a whole community of individuals. Thank you first to parents and caregivers. You are Katie and Evan's first teachers. And it's been an honor to partner with you all this school year as we have helped guide all of these teens through this last year. There's also a number of community members that we'd like to thank. We want to thank Lindsay McMahon, who wasn't able to be here with us today. Lindsay is the aquatics director at the University of Maine, Machias. Maria coordinated with Lindsay, and in the fall, our students spent a significant amount of time at the university working toward lifeguarding certification. They improved their swimming skills, they earned CPR certification. Some of our students earned their lifeguarding certification that they'll put to work in jobs this summer. But Lindsay was an incredible community resource and educator, and our program benefited because of her enthusiasm this year. I would also like to thank Todd West, who's sitting back here in the corner. Former high school principal, Todd now works at Rural Aspirations, and he guided a whole group of educators last year to create a program for area students this year called the Washington County Youth Leadership Challenge. Our students participated along with a number of other schools, and Todd coordinated a number of community resources, a number of folks through Sunrise Community Economic Council and others to be teachers and guides for our students. If you don't know, the Washington County Youth Leadership Challenge is a program where school teams would spend a year identifying a civic problem and then working with community guides on that problem. So thank you, Todd, for stepping up to coordinate that, stepping in with our students and others, and being a community teacher and guide. I'd also like to thank all of the educators at Callis High School. We say it every year, this program would not exist as a public high school option without Callis. The staff at Callis have been consistent supporters of me and our teachers here as we've worked to shepherd teens over 15 years through Cobscook Experiential programs. And many of the students or families might not see the work that Callis puts in, but anytime that we might need guidance on how to approach our work, the staff at Callis are always right there. So Dean, if you wouldn't mind passing along our gratitude to your coworkers at Callis, thank you for being there. I would also like to thank our coworkers and Cobscook's board members. This is a community center, a teaching and learning organization dedicated to improving the quality of life in our region through education. And so while not every member of our team is a classroom educator, each member of the staff and each member of our volunteer board contributes in important ways to making this program what it is. I also do want to take this moment to remind our graduates, what is Cobscook? It's a community center, right? And just because your journey in high school ends today, your journey as a community member and your journey, I hope, as a lifelong learner doesn't end. And so Cobscook and this community continue to be here for you. Also, I'm pretty certain that your biggest learning moments are ahead of you, not behind you. And so when you hit those moments, know that this place and the people here is a place where you can return to. I also want to acknowledge another important teacher, and maybe you're seeing it in some of these photos, but this landscape. I want to acknowledge this dynamic space. It's at the edge of the ocean, home to the Passamaquoddy people since the glaciers melted, home to birds. Sweet, sweet, I'm so sweet. Teacher, teacher, teacher. Home to mammals, home to rocks, home to frogs that some people collect, or snails, and bring into the classroom. Home to trees, home to the wind and the water and snow and ice. They've all been teachers. The snow has been a teacher. The wind has been a teacher. The rapids and the bend in the river is an important teacher. The soil in the garden is an important teacher. I believe that as long as we're good neighbors and approach the landscape, plant communities, animal communities, and indigenous communities to the places where we are with respect and humility, we'll always be surrounded by teachers. Lastly, I would like to thank the students. As a teacher, you have been one of my most important teachers. When we started Cobscook Experiential programs 15 years ago, I don't think I could have imagined the person that I would have grown into being if not being in this role. As I've been witness to your challenges, to your passions, when you've brought your skills and your interests into the space, it's challenged me to learn, it's challenged me to grow. When I've made mistakes, it's challenged me to acknowledge them and to try to do my best to be a better person, to be the best version of myself. So that's what I challenge us all to do today. Graduates, you have every opportunity in the world every day to challenge yourself to be the best versions of yourself. Students who aren't graduating, you get to do that too, and community members, we actually all get to do that too. Each day, working to be the best versions of ourselves. And when we do that, we grow. With that, I would like to invite to the stage Alan Firth. Alan, with others, co-founded Cobscook Institute 27 years ago. He served as the founding director for I'm not sure how long, years. Today he serves on our board as vice chair and treasurer. And so Alan is going to come on up and offer congratulations and welcome on behalf of our board. Alan.
Kara's amazing, huh? Let's get a big hand to Kara McCrimmon in amongst the incredible team. Kara really has spoken so eloquently and beautifully, covering a lot of what I would cover in terms of thanks and acknowledgement to everybody here, to the students, to your families, to your supports, to these amazing teachers. And so I will totally echo that. I want to acknowledge the other board members that are here. A board of directors is essential for a nonprofit organization like this. And it's not a glorious position, but it's an essential position. It's a demanding and hard position because you have to stand on your own principles and thoughts and passions and bring those to bear, just like your students, each of you has done this year and have done every year, which you've invited in to help make this organization happen, and then of course the staff as well. I wanted to, because of again, if I can build on Kara's really loving and clear words, I wanted to go back to sort of the core founding of Cobscook back in 1999 to bring us all around this community idea to say that perhaps the greatest gift you can use are the questions that you're asking. And I think Cobscook Experiential Programs, if it's anything, is a place that invites questions and then works in support of the seeking of answers that we can find. So these words are important for Evan and for Katie. They're important for each of us as we move forward. And I want to go back to words that guided us also, which were Teddy Roosevelt's, "Do what you can with what you have where you are." Because in 1999, we had a question, which was a bunch of people, community people about this size group asking, can we start an alternative school in Washington County? And when we held that question, we answered it, and the answer was no. We can't do it in 1999. We didn't have charter school legislation. We didn't have a way to make it happen, but we had a commitment to attend the quality of community in this region and to harvest the strengths of everybody and everything that we could do. So that came about to build a community center to serve all ages, knowing that we would leverage our mission, which is to create responsive educational opportunities that strengthen personal, community, and global well-being. We wanted to be engaged across the boards. In 2003, before this campus existed, Kara was an intern working in her graduate program with us, and we had a student in the Lubeck school who was a young parent walk into the office of Cobscook because she had been late to school because her child had an earache. And she was met at the door with a detention. She had a kid at home with an earache and had to stay after school because she got there late. But she came to school and she said, this is never going to work. So she asked if we could, again, this is questions, and doing with what you can with where you are, can we do something? Because I really want to graduate from high school. I want to get out a high school degree more than you'll ever know. We walked over to the superintendent at the time and asked if we could help bring Passages, the teen parent program, from Mid-Coast Maine to Washington County, and the superintendent in our school said, let's do it. Let's find a way to make it happen. Well, it took us 5 years to make it happen. That particular student did graduate. Her child actually attended this school at some point later on down the road. But what was very exciting was when we were ready to go public with the Passages program, every superintendent in Washington County asked us if we could start a program that was not for pregnant and parenting teens per se, but for any kid that really wanted a different kind of environment to learn in. And that is when Kara and the team locked themselves in this very room and designed the first version of the community year. And what happened in terms of circumstance, and this is also critical, and it brings Callis in, is we were working to become an approved private school in the state of Maine. And the process for making that happen, actually the guy that ran that program for the state of Maine that year died, and there was nobody to pick up the slack. We're sitting there, we had 10 or 15 students all signed up to come in 2010, and Callis School superintendent and principal said, why don't you do it with us? Why don't we ask the school board to approve this partnership? We went, Kara and I went to the superintendent's or the school board meeting in July, I think, or August. It might have been as late as August. They voted unanimously to approve the partnership, and those kids came to school that September at the very first year of CEP. So I really want to thank and talk about this partnership. And if there's a message for all of us here, it's to turn the questions from why can't we to how can we. And if we look at each other and figure out an answer to that, we're going to find a way forward. And I hope those words help you all going forward. I also want to, before I close my piece, I want to stress my appreciation for Kara, for Damon, and for Maria for being the extraordinary, dedicated, experiential educators that they are. And that's a fine breed of people. I really want to thank you so much. It's a beautiful thing that you create together. And then I want to close my piece by putting a special thanks to you, Maria, because I have word that Maria came to us, I think as early as 13, to start River Camp in collaboration. She's working with the Down East Salmon Federation, designed this program, got the funding for it. We had the luck of partnering with Maria and ran this spectacular summer expedition for kids. And then when we needed a teacher here, Maria applied and has been with us for several years now teaching. And my understanding is Maria is going to continue to help work with our expeditions in the summer and is also moving out into that adventure world that she flourishes within. And we wish you the very best and couldn't thank you more for what you brought here. Yeah, she's not moving. Okay, with that, Kara, I'm going to give this back to you. Thanks all so much. Congratulations to the graduates and to all of you.
Thanks, Alan. All right, each year before we get to the main event, we like to acknowledge each student and their growth for the year. I also noticed some other folks coming in, and we can take a moment to bring in more chairs, y'all. Okay, if you're happy to be standing, that's cool, but we can get out more chairs, absolutely. And so I have the honor. Somehow this year I'm speaking about both of our ninth graders this year. So just so that you're prepared in a moment, I'm gonna invite you to stand next to me on this stage, ninth graders. What's great about our ninth graders is just seeing such growth over 1 year. Both of these human beings came in nervous. I'm pretty sure both of them cried at some point on our first trip. There's the experience of homesickness. There's the experience of I don't know what's going on. There's the experience of this group is new and I don't know if they have my back. And I just comparing the beginning of the year to our very last trip of the year, where I had the honor of paddling with both of them, with Tara and with Jerry. There wasn't any saying to me, I want to go home. There wasn't any, maybe there was a little crying, but that's because the black flies were wicked bad. And we have the marks for it. But we had two students who knew the systems, who knew the ropes, who made it through the rapids, who were part of a group, who contribute to a group, and who have been a delight this year. So, Tara, do you mind standing next to me? Do you have to? Do you mind standing up so people can see you? This is Tara. And I'm going to say some nice things about you. All right, you can sit. You can look at me weirdly if you would like. Tara is creative. She's a loyal ally and advocate for her friends. And it's not a secret, I've already said it, to say that on day 2 of our first trip of the school year, a wilderness canoe trip down the west branch of the Penobscot River, she was having a hard time. and there was some crying, and there was some, can I go home? Is there any way to go home? And I was glad to be able to say, no. We're in the wilderness. There's no way to make that happen. I'm pretty sure at one point she asked that if she broke a leg, would we be able to call in a helicopter? And the answer to that was also no. That we could actually deal with a broken leg, but there wasn't a broken leg. There was support from the group, and I don't think that there was crying the remainder of the trip. And I'm so glad that you made it through that trip and through this whole school year. I believe that you found another home here during this school year, and you've become family to this program. I do want to say that this is a young woman who has incredible acting skills. Earlier this year, we did a dramatic reading for language arts class of the play The Crucible. Tara, even though she doesn't want to stand up in front of you all, she was very happy to stand up in front of her classmates to play the lead role, who comes to a dramatic end at the end of that play, and did an incredible job. And there's some future where I could absolutely see you on stage. And beyond acting, she has made her voice heard in the classroom, in conversations, in advocating for herself and others. And it's powerful to see that happen. And in my estimation, the circle of what's been comfortable for you this year has grown. I really can't wait to see how big that circle gets next year. I hope to be your canoe partner again. It was incredible paddling with you this year. It was incredible learning with you. Congratulations, Tara, on an incredible first year. Will you stand up again? All right, thank you. You can sit down. Jerry, do you want to come stand next to me? Jerry will. Actually, when we read The Crucible, Jerry, I don't think you wanted a part. I think you asked me, do I have to do this? And I said,
I'm pretty sure I asked for the person who had the least amount of lines.
Yes. And I was like, let's challenge by choice. So that's fine. You don't have to if you don't want to. And then we got out the costume box. And then everybody was in the costume box, and he found pieces. And I mean, to wear a costume, you have to have a part. And you also did an incredible job. As an aside, something that's a real special treat about Jerry is Jerry's mom. This is year 15 of the high school program, and when we started the high school program, Passages was also here, and Jerry's mom was in that program. And I remember another teenager who was here volunteering for pizza night, organizing the first senior prom that happened here. And what a treat to have somebody who was a student here now bring her child. And for me, it's sort of like, it's such an endorsement. So Laura, thank you for bringing your kid here this year. Now about Jerry. I really think that you're a funny, but also like a thoughtful and compassionate young man. And I think that you've brought a lot of bravery to the school year. I know that there have been times that like you've experienced challenges, that there have been things that you haven't necessarily wanted to do or thought that you could do. And bravery doesn't look like boldly stepping into a thing. It sometimes looks like crying and being uncertain and doing a thing anyway. And I think that has happened. One of the things that early in the school year you reflected that you couldn't do was write or write well, or at least that you didn't like writing. And I'm happy to report that like the thoughtfulness and the depth of responses that this person has offered up in his writing has been impressive throughout the year. You actually are good at it. I know from Maria that you aced your last Spanish test, even though there were times that I think you were questioning how you were doing in that course. It's been a delight this year to watch you strengthen your relationships within the group. It's also been really fun to watch you and others play D&D after school, which As an aside, I had a little attitude about D&D until I realized people are sitting down together and co-creating a story. They're just telling a story. And to see the creativity that's emerged in that space, and now to see your mom playing D&D with the students, it's been great. Jerry, I hope that you feel proud of all of the accomplishments you've had this year. I hope that you feel proud of the challenges that you stepped into. I really look forward to seeing how your circle grows next year. Congratulations on a really strong first year.
All right. Hello, everybody. Hi. All right. I'm going to start with the 10th graders. So, Nathan, could you come up, please? Thank you very much. This is Nathan Swift-Netto, and I just wanted to say a few words. Is that okay? Okay. It is so common for Nathan to be a great person that I sometimes take it for granted. I realize now that I don't take the time to thank him for being such a positive presence here at Cobscook. So, thank you, Nathan. Thank you for always being excited to learn something new, no matter what the topic is. Thank you for happily taking on academic challenges such as trigonometry or writing essays. Thank you for sharing your creativity with us, whether it was your intriguing music, your funny jokes, or your ingenious names for our Washington County Youth Leadership Challenge website, such as Down Eats or Store Easter, which is the one we went with. Thank you for your enthusiasm for the community members we learned from, whether it was Joel Casey last year or Todd West this year, and others. And lastly, thank you for being such a good friend to everyone, a supportive person who doesn't judge people despite their awkward teenagerness and their sometimes dorky dad jokes. Thank you, Nathan, and I look forward to seeing who you grow into see you grow into a great adult in the years to come.
Can I, folks, this is Lexa. Will you stand up? You can sit down, but I would like when I'm finished that you come and shake my hand, or let me shake your hand over there. Working with Lexa, one needs to look and listen for subtle signs in order to be her teacher. During her second year at Cobscook, we have loved learning more about Lexa. I feel especially lucky to be her profesora de español and watch her win most of the Kahoot games with her superior Spanish vocabulary and mild competitive streak. She attacks every Spanish phrase like a puzzle with patterns to be discovered. I think she brings this approach to math as well. I don't know if she loved chemistry or not, but Lexa was exceptionally consistent and thorough during our labs. Her scientific thinking, thorough record keeping, and excellent chemical safety practices shone this semester, whether we were melting, measuring, or mixing. One of the most prominent ways that Lexa shines at school is on our camping trips and outdoor activities. Already a lover of ice skating, she has improved greatly at cross-country skiing and is one of the students who most consistently makes it down the giant hill at the end of the road without wiping out. Also, as a side note, a small group of us went roller skating in Washington, D.C., and she slayed at that too. Her comfort in the woods and on the water makes her a coveted canoe partner and a positive presence in all of our outdoor activities. Yesterday, she made a strong showing for the student team during park ranger tag and helped them claim their victory at Mallard Day competition where they beat the staff. Lexa, I hope to see you on the water this summer. Thank you for an awesome year.
Mark, will you come on up here? Mark Triner. I'm so glad to get to talk about you this year. I'm happy to say, well, beyond being one of the most genuinely caring people Mark has impressed our teaching staff this year as he's set really clear academic goals and places where he's really wanted to improve, and not just saying it, but stepping in and doing it. So redoing math quizzes and tests, redoing Spanish, and really putting a lot of effort into improving his writing. That work has absolutely paid off, and it's one of the things that I appreciate about having a 4-year program. So we have our 9th graders and we see their growth over a year, but the growth that happens from 9th grade to 10th grade is immense. And the Mark who joined in September 23 and the Mark who's standing here in June 25, there's just been such growth that's incredible. Let's see, he earlier in the school year, had a bout of appendicitis. And this happened as the lifeguarding class was happening. So he missed some of the classes because he had to have surgery, and then he couldn't get in the water for a while because he wasn't allowed to following that surgery. And he really wanted to achieve that lifeguarding certification. So what did you do, Mark? How did you earn it?
I just worked for it, and I tried my hardest to get it, and I achieved it.
And he got his lifeguarding certification. And correct me if I'm wrong, but did you put in some time over a weekend?
No.
No, you didn't do any weekend time?
Oh wait, yes.
I-
One weekend time because I was off by 7 seconds of my physical test.
I thought you put in weekend time, right? So you put in extra time to achieve that goal. So the kid has lifeguarding certification, and hopefully he's working at the UMM pool this summer. But like that's an employable skill that you will be able to bring or put forward in the world down the road. I mean, you just model. You're such a great model for like goal setting and working to achieve it, and doing it with a positive attitude, and bringing a caring approach to your interactions with classmates and with the community. Thank you for being that kind of role model, Mark, in this program. It's such a delight to have you here, and I can't wait to see what you set your mind to next year and achieve. Yeah? All right.
Thanks, Mike Pimpin.
All right, our last 10th grader is Jem. Could you come up, please? Thank you, Jem. All right, so some mornings on my way out to the school bus, I accidentally drive right past Jem, who's waiting on the side of the road. And the main reason is his nature-based palette of clothing, I would say. He blends in very well, so you're all set for hiding in the woods whenever you want to. Yeah, you'd be good at that. But Jem doesn't mind. He's easygoing. He's friendly. He's funny. He's a great person to have in our group, and we're really lucky to have him. Academically, Jem is a curious and thoughtful student. He speaks his mind when it comes to historical and political issues, very appropriately, and offers thoughtful commentary on works of literature. When he faces a challenging assignment such as a tough math problem, he takes his time and he works through it. Jem's also a very competent person in all the outdoor activities we do throughout the year, from ice skating to skiing to canoeing. Jem is comfortable with his body in the outdoors. He loves to climb anything. It was pretty stressful last year when he would just launch up a cliff face as we're just hiking along a trail, and I'd ask him to come down. But he, as he grew up, he didn't do that as much, and he takes his risks more responsibly, which I appreciate. Last week, when we were on the river, we had to make our way through all sorts of complicated rapids, and every other boat followed Maria or Kara because they could find the best path. Jem and his lucky partner were all over the river finding new ways through these rapids, and I think he was very responsible with them, and he also had a lot of fun doing it, I assume. So I look forward to seeing what Jem does in the future. I could see him climbing up steep mountain faces, and then later on leading people up those same mountains safely. So thanks for hanging out with us this year, Jem. It was great. Yeah.
Year 1 11th grader, Tomas. This year, Thomas has crossed the divide. He has spent his junior year firmly on the older side of the pack. With that, we have some interesting and fantastic updates. Academically, he is enthusiastic about history and always has somewhat related stories to tell about it in class. Thomas continues to excel at math. That's a long-standing talent, but it's still true. And this year has added exceptionally creative work, creating a unique game in computer science class. Thomas has always been willing to share his ideas and warmly welcome newcomers to our school. His magnetic personality and knowledge of obscure trivia and weird corners of the internet have been a genre-defining part of what it feels like to be at Cobscook. This year, especially on the trips, Thomas has grown into more of a leadership role. When he is excited about reaching a destination by canoe or making it a good trip, he brings everyone along on that mission. We've seen a dramatic increase in responsibility on crews and in meal planning. Upperclassman Thomas won't complain about how something is without offering suggestions on how to improve it. As a newly minted agent of change, he has also ventured into new foods like pesto and even some beans. We love the ways that you've been growing and changing and being so responsible and fun on trip, and look forward to your increasing leadership next year. Thank you, Thomas.
All right, before we get to the main event, we would like to welcome to the stage Todd West. You can head on up. Since we felt like since our group worked on a year-long project related to finding issues in the community and focusing in on what can we do to improve them, he has a positive, productive outlook on living in Washington County, and that there might be some words to our class and graduates that he might share. So, Todd, you want to take the mic? Sure. All right, thank you.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me to be here today. It's a great, great honor to be here speaking at a community center. The Washington County Youth Leadership Challenge is all about community, and I've really enjoyed working with the students in the CEP this year. So, as a former high school teacher and principal, I have a deep appreciation for the significance of graduation ceremonies. And as a father whose own daughter is graduating on Friday, I wish to offer congratulations to all the families who have made this journey along with their students. Just think, I've been thinking about this a lot. We have asked the question, are you sure you don't have any homework, for the last time? As has been mentioned, I'm the coordinator of the Washington County Youth Leadership Challenge, a brand new program that connects schools and municipal leaders to ask the question, how can youth and adults work together to make a positive impact on our community? CEP was one of the schools that participated this year, and from the beginning, the creativity and out-of-the-box thinking of the students has shown through. You chose to take on the topic of rural entrepreneurship and ultimately created a website that serves as an online business directory for Down East Maine, the aforementioned Store Easter. If you ever have an opportunity to look at it, I encourage you to check it out. There are plans for it to go live at some point, so really an exemplary project. So the project that these students worked on was all about community. It was about more deeply understanding their community through the connections of people, places, and businesses. It was about identifying the sense of mutual responsibility that we all have to each other to make our communities the best that they can be. And ultimately, it's about working with others to take that first step in creating a product with tremendous potential to benefit your community. I want to thank each of you students for your truly exemplary work. Your project was one that really relied on everyone contributing and having, in order to get to your final outcome. And your work in the Youth Leadership Challenge this year has helped define the program and has set a high bar for student projects going forward. To Evan and Katie, two graduates ready to write their next chapter, I want to encourage you to seek out community and stay involved wherever it is that you may go from here. Listening to Mr. First speak, it dawned on me. One of my comments was going to be is that community is made. And certainly the story of Cobscook and the CEP is about making a community, right? Forming that community. And I think it's really fitting that as you head out to the next chapter, put yourself out there and find at least one thing that you can do that would help to make community wherever you are and whatever you choose to pursue. Congratulations to both of you, Evan and Katie. May you find fair winds and following seas. Thank you for inviting me to your graduation.
All right, we're nearly there. As I mentioned before, Cobscook wouldn't exist as a publicly accessible program without the partnership of Calais High School. And our graduates today will be receiving Calais High School diplomas presented by Principal Dean Preston back here. And so just so that folks understand and know who's actually handing out the diplomas, I would like to invite Dean up to offer a few words, and then we'll get our graduates up here. I promise you guys are coming.
Okay, thank you. Okay, first of all, congratulations to Katie and Evan. We have your diplomas up here, so I know it feels a little bit like a hostage situation, but that's why we keep the diplomas until after we're done speaking, right? All right, so hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to stand before you today as we celebrate a milestone moment for our graduates, these two. The ceremony isn't just about crossing the stage. It's about celebrating perseverance that you've talked about, growth, and the power of opportunity. Today is also a celebration of partnership, like Mr. Firth and all of the instructors have talked about. The collaboration between Cobscook Institute and Calais High School represents a shared commitment to meeting students where they are and helping them reach where they want to go. Together, we've built an alternate route to high school education, one that is flexible, one that is student-centered, and deeply rooted in care and connection. This partnership has opened doors for students for 15 years who may not have thrived in a traditional setting, but who have incredible potential. We've seen firsthand what happens when young people, such as the ones sitting here, are given the right environment, the right support, and the freedom to define success on their own terms. To our graduates, you are proof that different paths can lead to powerful places. Whether your next step is a college, a career, the military, or something still unfolding, you are both ready. To our families, educators, and community partners, thank you all for believing in this work. Together, we are expanding what education can look like, and we're changing lives on the way. So congratulations to Evan and Katie. We're all really proud of you.
All right. I think Evan is up. Evan, why don't you come on up?
All right, come on up, Evan. All right, first of all, I want to thank you, Evan, for joining us for your senior year of high school. It's been great having you as one of our students. You bring thoughtfulness and humor to everything you do here, and that is appreciated. by your teachers and the students alike. I saw that thoughtfulness and humor combined most recently in your computer science projects and also your work with us in general. I've also seen how well you connect with fellow students through your humor and your experienced observations on such topics as video game strategies and the best approaches to a challenge in D&D. I also appreciate your passion for music, as you can sing along with almost every song, except for maybe a few of Kara's Celtic songs. What's impressed me the most, though, throughout the year is your willingness to try new things. From the first canoe trip to public speaking at the Washington County Youth Leadership Challenge to cross-country skiing and finally to whitewater canoeing, you were willing to try something that you've never done before. That takes a lot of bravery, trust, and openness. Trying something that you're not that experienced with is how we learn and grow, and I saw a lot of that this year. I hope you continue to push yourself and put yourself outside of your comfort zone. We all hope the best for you in the coming years, and we're really proud of you. I just wanted to leave you with a few images of the natural beauty of the places we traveled throughout this year together. Dylan, if you want to switch over to that slideshow. So if you can see the screen here. And just consider these as we go through, look through these, and just remember there's a lot out there for you to explore. And thanks again, Evan, and enjoy these photos.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just want to tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and then hurt you.
You thought it would be there? All right. Very good. Good job, Evan. That's proud of you.
And now to present Evan's diploma, Evan Cook. So that you can represent and so that people know that you're part of the Cobscook family. Congratulations, Evan. Oh, no, not yet. Oh, no. No, you two do that together. You two do that together. Katie, come on up.
Katie, it is my pleasure to get to say a bunch of glowing things about our longest standing Cobscook student. There are so many great stories to tell about Katie. I first met Katie before I was a teacher here when I stepped into her first trip on the West Branch of the Penobscot. Katie wondered if she would make friends and if people would think she was weird for talking to them. Fast forward, she did make friends. She definitely had a good time. And Katie, you're still weird. Weird in the kind of way that you can be in the presence of people who really, really know you. Katie throws herself into new experiences with gusto and silliness, even if she isn't sure about them. One summer at River Camp, we had the misfortune of coming upon a rapid with a very low water level. We couldn't run. It was hot and we were tired, and I expected universal disappointment. We had to get out of the canoes and use ropes and puddle hopping to get through. These are not her exact words. I love lining, she kept shouting, turning the experience into a piratey adventure and bringing the whole group along. Katie is a much more experienced outdoors person now, including some time learning more at Washington County Community College. But she's continued to shine in some of the most difficult wilderness terrain. I have always enjoyed learning about life with you while paddling together in a canoe. Katie has an appetite for expansive, meaningful conversations about how the world works, what values she wants to live by, how to understand other people's behavior, and all of the adventures she will have in the future. Injustice stands no chance against Katie. Her love of novelty and of learning has been a hallmark of this academic year. For her as an individual, she has produced some exceptionally well-written assignments, but also setting the tone for the whole school to squeeze every drop of fun and learning out of our field trips. This semester, Katie has had the opposite of senioritis. She has worked hard to make ambitious plans for after high school, working in agriculture at West Branch Farm and getting accepted into a disaster relief AmeriCorps program. Though that program was recently cut at the federal level, Katie has been building her own pathway toward adventurous outdoor careers and plans to explore new areas of the country and the world. When Katie is determined and gets in gear, there is no stopping her. Katie, I have so much faith about the positive ways you will change your community and the world.
Katie Louise Ferguson. Wait. I don't know if is your mom taking pictures? Oh, she is. Wait. Come on, Sarah. Perfect. Go ahead and take a seat, Katie. All right. Graduates, now's the time. Go ahead and take that tassel. Move it from one side of the mortarboard to the other. We present to you Katie and Evan, Cobscook 2025 graduates. One of the hallmarks of our ceremony is we've gotten our chance to speak, and there's community members, there's family members who might want to offer a word to our graduates. We also know that you all have words, and some people also don't like speaking in public. But I have a wireless microphone right here, and I am very willing to deliver it to anybody who might want to offer a word of congratulation for Katie or for Evan. It's an option. There is also cake. Oh, and my coworkers Bonnie and Bunny are bringing that out. All right. Well, with that, we conclude our 2025 celebration. For those students who are not graduating, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow and Thursday. Thursday is our last day of school. To our graduates, you can come if you want to. We know that you're going to miss us tomorrow, and we'll be right here. So come join us if you'd like. We may go canoeing. To family members, to board, to staff, to our visiting speakers, thank you so much for being here today and celebrating with us. And I'm going to put on the celebratory closing song that Evan and Katie picked while we invite you all to enjoy some cake. Congratulations and thank you.
what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any